Hello, this is Mary James with Passive House Accelerator. Thanks for tuning in to the special bonus episode of the Passive House podcast, recorded live at the Passive House Canada Conference in Victoria, BC. And I'm sitting here with two of the architects from mcCallumSather, Christina Boyer and Morgan Wright. And I just listened to a really great presentation on the fastest project I've ever heard of to go from start to starting construction. And that was part of the topic of your presentation, was how to deliver housing in a more rapid way. So first of all, sorry, can you introduce yourself and talk about a little bit about mcCallumSather?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, I'm Christina Boyer. I'm an intern architect, and I joined our team at mcCallumSather last year to be our in-house passive house designer. Today, we were focusing on the combination of mass timber and passive house design principles and how it created opportunities to redefine possibilities for affordable housing. Morgan will go into more detail about the backstory of how we the journey of how we got here. But our office is situated in Waterloo, and the community there is heavily invested in tech startups and innovation. And that really has been a driving factor for investing in mass timber and innovations around engineered wood products.
Okay, so how long ago did you start working for mcCallumSather?
Oh, yeah. mcCallumSather, I joined almost to the day last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So, and had you worked with any prefab buildings? Because, part of the, with any prefabricated components before this, or because part of the means for getting here so quickly is your firm's relationship with Element 5, which is a manufacturer of CLT panels.
Correct. Yeah. So about 5 years ago, when I was a student, I had met Matt and Mike, who at the time we were Edge Architects, and we had applied for a grant through NRCan GC Wood, the funding program there, and received funding for research and development through mass timber. And so we were developing with our structural engineer and with Element 5 floor panels, roof panels, as well as elevator cores and other vertical circulation like stairways, that sort of stuff. The way that project landed, it was an office prototype. And when we were going into construction, COVID-19 happened. And so the market really didn't fit the client's pro forma, but we did have all that research under our belt. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was our intro into modular design. And Morgan has a lot more experience, and she can speak to that as well.
Okay, so did you guys go to school together?
No, I went to University of Toronto. Morgan graduated a few years ahead of me. She went to University of Waterloo.
Okay. So you obviously have taken the Passive House training to be a Passive House consultant.
Yep.
How long ago did you do that?
Did that about a year and a half ago. And when I was doing the training, there were a few precedents on single family mass timber passive house, and that dovetailing in with the R&D that we had done a few years ago, I was really inspired to seek out opportunities to work with an office that was pursuing both of those streams. And then so I reconnected with Matt Boland, who's the managing partner at mcCallumSather. And I noticed that he was also Passive House certified. So it was really kismet to be able to get a job at mcCallumSather and then join the team and work on this project.
And so can you just tell us the basics about the project, the size, and where it's located?
Yeah, absolutely. Or should we pass it off to Morgan to give her the floor? Or I can keep talking. So 1620 Main Street East, it is an affordable housing project. It's 6 stories, around 41 units, and 42 units. And the client, City Housing Hamilton, is heavily invested in passive house design as well as modular construction strategies. And so that was part and parcel to our RFP proposal, was proposing these innovations in modular mass timber construction.
And in fact, that was one of the requirements of the RFP, right? That you had to meet passive house certification. You had to target passive house certification.
Exactly. Yeah, they were pursuing certification. Yeah.
So just one last question. So you said modular, but it's not really a modular construction approach. It's really panelized.
It's these panels that come into play. Well, the foundation walls are poured for the basement, and then we have the CLT 3-ply wall panels, and then we have 5-ply floor panels, and the roof as well as 5-ply, and so we get the superstructure in. The modularity really comes in these panels. It's really a kit of parts that gets assembled. And then for the wall assembly, we then have those 3-story high 3-ply CLT panels.
Yeah, it was the little video you showed of the assembly, not so much there, but at a previous project, was quite exciting to watch how quickly they came.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And you really need the video to be able to believe that we're able to assemble in 20 working days.
Okay, great. Morgan, can you introduce yourself again and tell us how long you've worked there and how you came to be involved in this particular project?
Great. So my name is Morgan Wright, and I'm an associate architect at mcCallumSather. I have been working with this team now for the last 5 years. And at mcCallumSather, I'll just talk a little bit about our office quickly. You know, our mission as a team is really to advance sustainable design intelligence, and our vision is really about transforming design to create a more resilient world. And this is really something we try to drive in all of our projects. How I got involved in the team, I started at mcCallumSather, like I said, 5 years ago. I met Matt Bullen, one of the lead principals, through school, and kind of started right after graduation. He really had a drive and a mandate to do mass timber and affordable housing, and so we just kind of started using those industry networks that we developed and meeting a lot of people through the the wood grant, and just starting to, talk to like-minded people and really just develop that network. And then we were in a really good spot when some of these opportunities were presented to put together proposals and build up a team of people who were really passionate about mass timber, sustainable design, and just trying something new. So that's kind of how we got here.
And one of the themes of your talk today was about the advantage of having sort of continuing partnerships with various entities that helped you be able to deliver this housing project at speed.
Yeah.
This was part of the mandate for it.
Yeah. And I don't think every project needs to be delivered rapidly, but that's what's so exciting about this project and this series of projects is it has been so important. It's been so critical, again, especially with the climate. We need housing, and we need good quality housing, and we need it quickly. So with that kind of idea, we started on the YWKW project in Kitchener-Waterloo in 2021. And that, was the 1 year of from contract signing to substantial completion. And we built a team of people who were really passionate and really cared a lot about the community and about doing innovative solutions. And throughout the next kind of 4 iterations of the project, we've retained a lot of the same people, which has led to, again, that quick communication, that comfort level, being able to talk about the project in a way everyone understands, and just be able to kind of continue the work and have that flow and that continuity really help us deliver things quickly. And again, just having some of those same people who you're able to rely on, and again, that care about the project as much as you do, has been really helpful.
So one of the team members that you've brought along has been RDH Consulting, which I understand played a double role as an enclosure consultant and a passive house consultant. Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah, so some of the earlier projects we talked about in our presentation, a lot of them were done through Rapid Housing Initiative funding. And again, they were all rapid, and we wanted to use mass timber. And so we knew right away that we needed someone who had done a lot of mass timber and who had that kind of expertise, that knowledge, that know-how, and could really help inform the team and make good decisions and help us just navigate the construction process and making sure that, we had a moisture management plan, and as things were being installed, it was being closed up properly. So RDH was taking on that role for a lot of those other projects. So when the passive house certification kind of came into the mix, we knew right away that we would bring RDH in for that lead role. They would be able to do the passive house consulting because they have a great team there. And then as well, they would kind of be able to step up their envelope consulting and do those two items together to really kind of bring our housing up to the next level. So it's been really nice and is really nice having them on the team. They're so knowledgeable and really able to make sure that the kind of means and the method of the delivery are up to kind of passive house standards.
And one of the tasks that they did was to come up with a list of possible energy conservation measures in order so that you could meet the passive house standard. And can you talk about that a little bit? Because I guess in your early model, maybe you weren't quite hitting the heating demand target. So to bring that down, can you talk about some of the measures that were proposed and discussed?
So for the RFP process, again, we committed to delivering a passive house certified project. And then as we signed the contract and moved into design development, it became apparent that maybe we weren't quite hitting the targets we wanted to. So RDH was able to kind of prepare a really comprehensive kind of illustration of a few energy conservation measures that we could start to pull on and change a few design items that would help get us to the model we needed to get to. And they had done it in such a way that it was really easy to digest. The information they presented to the team, a lot who did not have passive house certification or previous passive house knowledge, we were all able to look at this diagram and quickly decide which levers we wanted to pull on first, based on kind of ease of implementation versus, the ones that were a little bit more complicated and had a little bit more cost associated with them. So, using these ECMs, we were able to get to our target. One of the interesting ones we talked about in our presentation was kind of our air leakage target. Our mechanical engineer, upon reviewing this ECM, decided that the best way to test
And
the.
this is for, I just have to.
Oh, yeah.
This is for duct air.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is for duct air leakage. Yes, our mechanical engineer had proposed a duct air leakage target. And they decided to build a one-to-one mock-up in their shop, which really helped them as a team decide, if that target was feasible and if we needed to be more conservative. It also got them talking amongst their team about how they would actually do this on site in situation and what measures they would really need to take to hit those targets. They aren't planning on using any air sealant, but that means continuous testing to make sure they're hitting their goals.
Yeah, it's the speed at which everything is being done is pretty formidable. So, and I don't know if I said this in the beginning, it's been like about a year, is that correct, since you first responded to the RFP? Yeah,
so I would say we started the process in January. Again, we do have of 2023. We do have an accelerated schedule, but there is always that caveat of site planning approvals and permitting. There were a few kind of small hiccups there that were no fault of the teams, and so we did have kind of a few months there to catch up, but now we're well on into construction, and I hope we're tracking a bit ahead, so we're able to gain some of that time. But yeah, I think it might be a little over a year, but we're still excited to catch up.
And so getting the final permit process was okay. I mean, because there's a slowdown there, especially if you're using a construction methodology that's maybe new to the building department.
Yeah, the city of Hamilton, the building department was great. We had a really great building engineer, and there was just that comfort level, that communication. So right up front, when we submitted our building permit, we did schedule a meeting with our building engineer at the city, and just wanted to kind of go through anything with her and ask her if she had any questions. Again, I think just having some of that open communication really helped kind of smooth that process. Definitely the planning approval side, that's always tough. Everyone's busy, but again, everyone at the city was very excited about the project, and yeah, just sometimes it just takes a minute. So we're happy that we were able to get it and keep moving forward.
And one of the other techniques for keeping everything moving forward that you talked about in the session was you said bi-weekly meetings during the design phase?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a bit?
So one thing we do on a lot of our projects that are kind of fast-tracked in nature, and again, some of these affordable housing projects, is we do kind of schedule bi-weekly meetings as opposed to monthly or every other month. And these are usually a quick touch base. They happen on site as well as virtual, that people can kind of just hop into and go through any concerns, go through any items that need to be addressed. It's a way for the team to kind of immediately address any issues, kind of maneuver around delays. It also gives an opportunity to see short-term goals and just make sure everyone knows what's going on site. And then as well for any of the trades to ask the engineers or the architects questions. It's really an open table, open format. And again, sometimes these meetings are only 30 minutes, but it's nice to have them consistently so that things just get addressed as soon as they come up.
And also, this is your firm's first passive house project, is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, this is our first passive house project. Again, it's been great having Christina added to the team. She brings that knowledge, and again, being certified, she's able to, roll some of the practice into the design, and then before we kind of get it to RDH for further review. So that's been really helpful. It's I think a lot of the team members' first passive house. So again, just having RDH on the team, giving us some guidance, some lessons learned has been great. But yeah.
That's great. Well, congratulations. And for now that it's in the started construction, I guess you guys have more time to kind of look around and think about what your next project might be. Do you anticipate doing other passive house projects?
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully this is the first of many. Again, we've been trying to build on this methodology, and each next project we do, there's I think a small lever we get to pull and to try something new or to keep innovating. So yeah, I hope that the next project is just a build on of this one.
Yeah, just what building off what Morgan is saying, a lot of our session today, we focused on the different prototypes. This is prototype number 4 of our multi-res affordable rapid housing solutions. And it's exciting. Well, and all of those have been mass timber. And so, yeah, we hope that passive house is one of those variables that are built into the mix, the kit of parts. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate your time.